there is potentially something down there, but it could be. I don't know. I don't know. This is all stuff I don't understand.
Me neither. We have to move. We can't stay here. That's for sure.
Well, what do you think? Down the ravine, or do we try to go out the entrance? Part of me wants to try the ravine because if they must have, there has to be another way out. They can't just have made one door. I mean, dwarves have all sorts of side entrances and outposts and things.
I think we could explore the rest of the hold and not go to the door right now. Maybe
Okay.
we'll find another way out. But going
Go
to the
down.
main doors really sounds like a bad idea to me.
Yeah, me too. If they all died looking in that direction, that means it happened quickly, then it happened violently. So
Yeah,
I don't want to
and
know what they did.
oh, the corpse I saw it still has some meat on his bones. So
Maybe it's still fresh. Maybe somebody
um,
else. Yeah, maybe the. Okay, yeah. So how do we get down there? I can climb decently, but I don't know about.
me no. I, I
You
was
can,
never most.
I will rule, you could put your hands on the rope and slide down easily enough.
Yeah,
Getting
but
back up
going
might
up.
be more of a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you can
really
float
not.
though.
I can, I can, but I'm not. I don't know if it's. I don't know how deep it is, so I don't know if I could float all the way up.
Okay. How about um, I climb down with a light on or something, and then when I get to the bottom, I can see how deep it.
That's a good idea, but we will need something to burn.
Well, can't
Maybe.
you use magic?
Ah, you know what? I
Cast a light
could.
on my backpack or something?
No, I need to touch someone for it to still, well, to remain lit. But I could cast some glowing lights down there. But if it's more than 100 yard deep, then
Yeah, then it'll. Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna go try casting some lights then.
yeah.
Okay, so you create some lights.
Almost have the Zinch curses right here. 8 and 7.
Oh no, your
Okay,
milk might go bad.
so you cast some
Not
lights,
our
and of
milk.
course, and you do in fact reach the dwarf, some far way down, but well, within 100 yards at the very least. And you can see his body sort of old and decaying, but very much there, along with the shine of tools. But what
Hey!
it illuminates more interestingly is the walls of the ravine. And all the way down, you can see what you can only describe as absolute beauty, as the walls themselves glitter a rainbow of colors, with gemstones embedded in the very wall,
Oh my
crystalline
god.
structures reflecting light to every direction, bringing forth just simply a sense of awe and wonder.
Wow.
Alexa, to your at least reasonably trained craftsman eye, it's all incredibly pretty, but you at least have the vague sense that these walls might not necessarily be more valuable than glass.
Right, so it's probably just naturally beautiful, but.
Right, more like a bunch of geodes or the like. Which, of course, are always interesting in a collector's sense, but well, nobody wears it as jewelry.
Yeah.
Is
Nonetheless, it is a small bit of light in a world of darkness,
this is beautiful.
and you all both can take +10 to any willpower check you want in the future once.
Yay!
Wow. Incredible. Such a shame that a place like
Nobody
this
can
is
say
no.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? We might be the first ones to look on this for like hundreds of years.
Huh. Soothing, in a sense.
Well, I suppose I should get down there, huh?
Well,
Unless we want to sit together and have a moment.
I mean, this is beautiful and all, but we will need water, clean water, and food sooner or later, and you need healing. So we should, rest some.
Yeah. Well, the good news is I have a lot of food and I do have a water skin.
Ah, good. You
I
didn't
mean,
pack anything.
food that's been the corpse water.
Well, if it's been yeah, that's what I wanted to check to see if it's been sealed, if the seal's been broken, or if yeah, or if not.
Well, we can check later, but
The good news is too
Probably
is
not necessarily worse than dunking into any other pool, so I don't think there needs to be a necessary special exception to all equipment is ruined or something.
right, unless it's a cinch curse or something. But yeah, okay. So I recall back last session we decided against selling all my food to the weirdo mutants.
oh, the Red Prince, yes,
Yeah, so we
the
still
king of
have
the
that.
underworld.
I thought someone sold some to him, though.
Well, I don't recall it because I don't remember.
I think you did sell one or two things to him, but that's all.
Okay. Okay. Well, either way, if we're using the rope, I'm gonna test the rope to make sure that it's still good and it doesn't like snap as soon as we put weight on it.
Wait, I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull one of the rope from a little bridge, and I'm gonna say you're gonna wear this on your shit
I'm gonna tie
as a
you up,
belt.
right?
Yeah, so tie
Okay.
it as a belt, and then if you fall, you'll have a safety net of sorts.
You're gonna hold on to the other end or something.
I'm gonna tie it to a rock and hold on it. Yes,
Okay.
so tie it to your waist.
Alright, so you set up a safety rope for Alexa.
Yep.
Alright, and Alexa, you slide down the rope.
Yay. Slide down the...
Whee!
Without gloves, so your hands are on fire.
Well, you can go
Alright.
slow.
You, slide down on the rope, taking, enough time to avoid friction burn. And the rope at least seems to still be sturdy enough to support your weight for now.
Okay.
Once you get to the bottom, there is, a fair bit of room where the dwarf has fallen. It appears, of course, that he has fallen onto his back, and underneath his back is a very sharp rock. A little bit of crystal, even.
I'll
Looking at him, he isn't skeletal. However, he does feature, that he's become completely dehydrated in his body, almost mummified down here. His skin is all at least intact, and, though he's decomposing, he appears to have been mostly left alone by the various flies that could have possibly gotten down here.
wow.
So there is still meat on his bones. And
Ugh.
on his outfit, you can see a small dwarven inscription.
Ooh.
Same as on his bags, and in fact, this seems to be the same that was, the same set of symbols that were, at the, what was it? At the, smithy stall.
Huh.
Says, don't touch my stuff.
Well, I guess I'll see what he. I'll say a prayer to Dawes to say I'm sorry you met your end down here, and well, at least some light has found you now. And we'll see what equipment he carries and see if I can get. Yeah, if he's the owner of the forge and tried to escape down here, maybe that gives us another.
Okay. Downstairs, you can see on his body, he has a number of the forge tools, and they have all been cleanly wrapped into various little travel cases, and are in very good condition. You have found a set of superior tools.
So are they good quality or are they perfect quality?
I'm going to go with good for now.
Okay. And are they armor tools or are they smithy tools or what type?
Uh,
Lots
I'm
of
trying to
different
think if
types of
like there's
tools.
much of a difference.
Well, in the book, I think they do differentiate. So
I'm gonna say both. Armor could have been. He did have a set of armor tools that he brought with him, uh, and for weaponsmithing. However, it appears that
Oh,
his main pride and joy was, in fact, the regular old smithy tools that he had down here.
so there's both an armor set and a smithing set.
Yes.
Holy shit, that's hella valuable. Okay,
Oh
I will
yes.
take them both.
On his person, you also find some wrapped up food that has also kind of gone rotten over time. A few couple of books that he decided to take with him. A dwarven religious symbol, which perhaps you can't immediately identify. Uh, and that appears to be all that's on his person. Of note, of course, is that he is not staring in the same direction as all the skeletons that you've seen.
well, he's staring upwards. If he fell on his back.
Well, he wasn't affected or must not have been near the blast when it happened, so he must have tried to have yeah, he fell and got killed. But I'll holler up to Gustav. Hey Gustav, there's some
Yeah.
books and such down here.
Oh,
Also, you find a key on him.
Ooh, a key.
do I need to go down?
You're back.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'm going. But catch me if I fall, because I know my.
Right.
Alright. So you come down as well, without safety harness, leaving Alexa's hooked up top. And as you come down, what do you do?
I'm gonna look at the books.
Yeah, the magic
Alright.
or the symbol, whatever it is. Holy.
I'm not too familiar with dwarvish deities, but it is definitely among one of them.
Grimgi.
Remgi!
Ancestor. They worship their ancestors. So.
Alright. Worship. Okay, so you found a little symbol of their ancestor worship. The books themselves appear to be a set of smithing books, indicating a large number of ways to construct a number of objects, particularly gears, pistons, levers, and all manner of contraptions. They're
Wow.
very intriguing at the very least. However, you aren't quite the craftsman enough
No.
to really understand why they'd be used.
That's some valuable books.
Yeah, engineering stuff maybe.
Yeah. I'm
In
gonna
fact,
look
one of
them
them appears to be even a somewhere in the back, amongst a number of pages, scribbled notes about a gate mechanism.
gate mechanism.
Yes. From
Huh.
your bare amount of reading here, as you skim along, it appears to indicate how one can automatically open and close the gate via the power of running water.
Running water gate.
Indeed. In fact, it shows a small diagram of the hidden streams throughout the entire cavern, and one of them undoubtedly powers the gate.
Hmm. Well, if we want to go back to the gate, now we know how.
Oh, and since you're down here, you can actually read the inscriptions on his luggage and his outfit, which of course reads, Simply Rock Smasher.
Well, rest in peace.
Well, maybe that's the solution. Maybe they all tried to get out, but maybe the corpses are clogging up the water.
Maybe he
water
was the only one to know how to get out.
So why did he come down here?
On an expedition.
Give me a perception check.
Hmm.
Ah!
So close.
There is walking space down here amongst all the crystal. However, it's all rather blinding at the moment, given the constant reflections in all directions.
Well, we could always see where this goes.
I guess. Guess it's worth a shout. But
Well, we came
that
this
would
far.
make that would make sense for them to face the gate if they were waiting for it to open, maybe.
They wouldn't just stand there and die.
Maybe they run out of No, there was food. Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there's still pieces to this puzzle we don't know yet.
So there are two directions to go on this side of the ravine, and there is the other side of the ravine. However, it doesn't look like there's much walking space over there.
No
It is a
thanks.
fair distance too.
Crystal maze.
So if you're going to walk in either direction, give me a 50-50. And of course, call high or low.
High.
High, yeah, because we've been rolling
15.
high.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
Okay. So you begin wandering in one direction. And as you walk in this direction, you hear the sound of rumbling, much different than before. It seems to kind of echo through the walls themselves, and as you continue walking many, many yards in this direction, you come across an opening in the crystals that leads into a wellspring of water. It appears to be a flowing underground river.
Huh.
It appears to come from up above and come down to this location, and pools rather nicely and cleanly.
Well,
In
if you
fact,
need water.
you can see amongst the water, with its back up against one of the walls, another corpse of a dwarf.
Oh.
Oh,
Much like the other one, it is slightly mummified down here, but appears to have been left undisturbed.
Well, the dead are here
Take
for
a
the
look.
loot.
yeah.
Alright. You go for the loot, and unlike the other one, you can see that its food has run out. It carried with it some different tools for trying to climb around.
Well, that's always useful, so
Mhm.
guess we're gonna take those.
Indeed. And of course, you find on it a small journal.
Huh.
I can't read Kaz lead, so it's up to you to look at it.
I'll just sit here. I'm gonna read along. I'm gonna speak.
You go ahead and read the journal. It
Yeah,
appears to be
out
the
loud.
journal. Yes. It appears to be the journal of a woman who used to live down here in the hold. And most of it is filled with the trivialities of day to day, going to the marketplace, getting mushrooms for the evening meal, disliking their neighbors, and
I'm
such and such.
gonna go near the end.
As you go towards the end, you start to read that it appears as if the hold was under siege at some point, and so they had taken the gate and set up a barricade up against it to keep it from being forced open, and most people were preoccupied with this for the time being. Food was a worry. People were afraid that they were going to run out, but they had plenty of time. And then something strange happened. It appears worry grew, and she decided to run. And it appears she was the husband of Simply Rock Smasher.
She was the husband? A wife, you mean?
Wife, sorry.
Dwarven
Oof, I
society is
got my
very,
terms
very
mixed.
It was
progressive.
one of those kind of relationships. Don't shame them.
They're very dwarves are very liberal.
There we go. Okay. But towards the end, it goes silent for a number of days before a much more scribbled set of entries begins, describing a few of the events that transpired. It was terrible. A strange statue. It would move when anyone would take their eyes off of it, and when
Oh
they
no!
did, another person was dead, staring straight into its eyes, their necks snapped, echoing through the caverns. It was terrible and awful. I and my husband had decided to try to run as it went from person to person. We came
I
down
don't
here,
want
but my
to.
husband met his fate at the bottom of the rocks. His hands slipped. I'm now here all alone, and I don't think that there's any other way out down here. I could try to climb deeper, but there could always be rats. We've always feared the Skaven climbing up the cavern walls and coming into the hold. And they have not tried in some time, but dare I try my fate with them any further? Or do I go back up and try to open the gate? But I'd have to find the gear. They said they'd remove the gear in order to keep the gate closed during the siege. But now that it's gone, I'd have to somehow avoid that creature and put the gear back in place, remove the barricades on my own, and then leave before it catches me. And undoubtedly, if I make so much noise, it'll come for me.
Oh,
I don't want to.
Where did this thing come from? I simply don't know. I heard that some of the miners pulled out a gem of some interest. Could it be after this? Is it related to it? It happened so soon after. I can only pray to our ancestors that someone manages to find me down here, or that beast is destroyed.
Yeah, we can't go to sleep down here.
well, here goes my night of sleep.
So what does it say as you relate it back to me? Oh God!
yeah.
And the two of you take a moment to sort of settle into your terrifying situation amongst the corpse that decided to stay and die down here rather than escape, and wonder if you'll meet the same fate. Well, after a few hours, let's go back up to Berthold and Mordrin and see how you guys are doing today. It's a fine day in Middenheim. Not a single killer up here. And, oh, well, things aren't going too great in the city right now. The riots continue on as a number of refugees storm the various markets around the city. The Merchants District, Alt Market, and New Market in particular. Most of the rest of the city manages to avoid the riots as they aren't necessarily the people who keep food around. Nonetheless, your day has started, and, well, what do you two plan to do with your day?
I'm gonna go meet with that woman.
Alright, you go off to meet with the woman you had met before. Did I write down her name? Let's find out. Do. Jesse takes credit. Do. Alice of Cow's Head. Yes. So you return to her, and she is more than happy to see you. Bertold, you're back.
Yes, I wanted to see if you've given any thought to the matters that we've discussed.
Of being your speaker. Yes?
Yes.
I'm more than happy to try if you're willing to allow me to.
By the way, I'm assuming Mordred is with me, right?
Yes.
I mean, you're my bodyguard. It'd be real dumb of me to go walking around without you.
Mordred keeps his duty.
You said duty.
You beat me to it.
Yes, well, I had some ideas for the day, and I would appreciate if you would walk with us.
Well, today's a pleasant day for it.
Indeed. Shall we? I mean, and I will bow towards the door, extending a hand for her to proceed.
Alright. She will step towards the door and also reach out for your hand to try to grasp it.
And I
You know,
will
going
not.
hand in hand.
I will not do that.
Oh, you won't? Okay.
No.
You'll withdraw and she'll say, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
Think nothing of it. I do not like to be touched.
Oh dear. Well, let's go on our walk then. And where are you two going? Or, well, you three.
Where are the outskirts of the riots happening?
As I've slightly mentioned, they are happening in the Merchant District, Alt Market, and New Market.
But that's
so
the
basically
outskirts?
all around.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically all around the Great Park, more or less. The Great Park is, of course, the central area to it. So something like.
Oh, you're drawing circles. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
so
about to suggest
something.
that.
Yeah, something vaguely like this. These are where the riots are occurring.
What's in Newmarket? Newmarket. Sorry. What's in Newmarket?
Let's see. If we take a look at number 27, that is Castle Rock Coaches.
Oh.
But other than that,
I remember those assholes. They don't work. They don't open at night.
yeah, wow, what weird people to go to sleep at night. Ugh. But
You hire a night crew. That's how it works.
but ultimately, it is another market district of the city, with people with various businesses within, and people who set up stalls out on the street. And of course, usually a number of pickpockets as well, though the guards try to patrol this area more than some others.
Yeah, I guess we'll head over to Newmarket. It seems like the better idea than heading to the far side of the Great Park.
Alright, so the two of you head on over to there. Lex and Gustav are somewhere in the mountains.
We're fine.
I'm sure we'll come out of this just fine.
I don't
Alright.
recall if Bertold has ever met Alexa. And my only encounter with Gustav was to argue with him in court, so...
Yeah,
That's very true.
the law was on your side, so
Yeah. Well, that's what I said.
Yeah,
You went
yeah.
and gathered the truth. I gathered a bunch of rich people. So,
And-
clearly I won.
yeah, Verena was on your side.
Well, no, that's what I
The
argued.
system.
That's what I argued in court. You have the truth, but I have the law. And you're like, yes, I do have the truth. Which was not the winning argument.
Indeed. But you head to Newmarket and head to the edge of it. And the riot isn't so much like a seething mass that is impossible to fit through, but rather roving bands of refugees going store to store, demanding food. And guards trying to patrol the streets to ward the bands away and arrest the ones that they see actually doing anything untowards to others.
Alright, I would like to try to gather the attention of the guards.
And indeed you do. You flag them down, and looking as rich as you do, they are certain to pay attention to you. Ah, good sir. How are you doing this evening? How are you doing this morning? I'm afraid there's a bit of trouble going around.
Yes, I would like to try to address the crowd. I wonder if you would be able to lend me a hand in this.
Oh, well, if you wish to speak to them, well, we can try our best to keep them from reaching you.
Yes, this is all I could ask for. Thank you very much. Is there
Oh,
like
well.
a box, maybe one that would hold soap or something in it?
Oh, yes, indeed. McSoper son.
Yes.
Has an empty soap box for you right there,
All right.
amongst the rest of his trash. So you can freely take a box. Boxes are free.
Now with extra lie.
Yeah, so I can cause explosives.
Rub it on the back of your hand. Show the world how
Oh,
much
right.
you like your...
Yeah. How much of a fanboy you are of Brad Pitt
First
movies.
rule about Fight Club. Let's not talk
I was
about Fight
about
Club.
to say, did you just make a Fight Club reference?
Yeah. Look, guys, I got to Fight Club late, but it was great. I missed all the rules and everything, but man, you guys got to come with me next time.
Would recommend it to everyone.
Yeah. We got to get the word out there about Fight Club.
Alright,
Anyways.
so, you get up on your soapbox and, you go looking for, most of the crowd. And it's, fairly easy to find them. And some of them are already looking in your direction, noticing the number of guards, and of course your, own get up and obvious wealth. So you get up on your soapbox, and at the very least, you do have some of their attention.
Yes, it'll be... Ladies, gentlemen, my fine folk of Middenheim, if I could gather your attention, please look over here. Look at me!
You can hear a few windows shutter open, and a few people like step out from their doors to kind of like peek their head out and see what's happening. Who's making this commotion?
I understand the situation that you find yourselves in. I myself was taken a fool for a bunch of bandits outside the town. Do not think ill of me for my apparent wealth these days. I understand the troubles of the common man. It might seem worthwhile to take what you can now that it's freely available and that you have nothing, but believe me, you only hurt yourselves by taking this action. There has to be a tomorrow that we can all strive to live for. I am Berthold Hartmann. I almost forgot my name for a second. And I am endeavoring on a great undertaking in the Great Park. You may have seen it. I am building something that I believe all of us can put together. And in that vein, I beseech you, work for me. I will pay you. You will have a thing to call your own, a place to live, food to eat, a future to raise a family. You need not desecrate this great city in order to survive. I will see to it. And as such, I not only speak for myself, I have proof of those around me. And then I will, like, extend... No, I do not extend a hand. I will gesture towards the woman next to me, and I will step back off the, I'm going to say podium here, but we all know it's a soapbox.
Alright, you step off the soapbox and she'll just look a little sheepish and kind of step up on the soapbox and look back at you. It's like, what should I say? Oh dear.
Yeah, I'll lean over and whatever comes to mind, do not worry.
Oh.
You'll say what you need to say when you need to say it.
She'll clear her throat a little bit and look out to the crowd and go, I've known Berthold just a short little time, but his generosity is true. He's treated me so kindly and fairly, and but a few days ago I was starving and was afraid I might even die here in this city without a single helping hand. But he came by and He saved me out of the generosity of his heart. And I don't know what sort of thing he has planned in store for us all, but truly, if he is of a kind heart, and I trust him in his words. And to this, the crowd definitely seems very interested in what you have to say. Go ahead and roll me some charm, why don't you?
I want to remind that I have the talent public speaking, which means I can charm up to 10 times my normal amount, which would be 50 people.
Indeed, you have drawn quite a crowd.
Let's see, not etiquette. Scheming? Does a scheming apply?
What's the word on scheming here? You're just like making a plot.
You are a master of personal politics. You gain a plus 10% bonus to intrigue-related charm tests and willpower tests to resist the charm of others.
This isn't quite intrigue. This is more,
Personal
invigorate
politics, though.
Kind of. However, despite not maybe getting those bonuses, I would give you a plus 20 for both bringing evidence and offering everyone exactly what they want.
Well, how does failure suit you? Because fuck me.
Do you want a fortune point that?
I have no fortune points. I have no fate points. I hate the damn
It is
things.
Did you use all of them yesterday?
I
or,
used
I
them
mean,
all in
last session?
character creation. I burned those sons of bitches. I'd live off no fortune points.
Fate points are gone. Fortune points you get daily, as you were mentioning earlier, in fact.
No, I have no fate points, is what I'm saying. I am a zero fate point character.
Wow.
Does that mean that you also get no fortune
I am
points?
iron moding this game, son.
Okay.
Yeah, that means
Yeah,
I have
so
no
you-
fortune points. If you have no fate points, you have no fortune points.
Alright, so you have no luck. So you gather the crowd and, well, they all kind of stop and talk amongst themselves a little bit. And, they all seem a little bit taken aback by everything. They've definitely stopped, to consider, but you
How
know you
about
don't
this?
have them on the hook yet. A
I-
few of them
I
actually
hear-
get up and say, "Well, where's the money? Give us what she got."
Here's the thing.
I
I have
believe
not.
in-
Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Morgan. You haven't done anything yet.
I believe in Berthold Hartman.
Oh God, I'm gonna lose half my face. Where's Rachel?
Where's Alexa? Well, she's not in yet.
Yeah, where's the money?
But I'm gonna say, is there any chance that if I throw out some money, I could get a plus 10?
Absolutely. How much money are you going to throw out, though?
I am going to throw out. Hold on, let me do a quick conversion. Let's see. I am going to throw out. Let me just do some math in the roll 20 here. 5 times. I'm going to throw out 1,200 pence. Brass pennies.
Ooh. Let's see. And that would be...
5 gold crowns worth. But I'm going to throw it out in small, so it's not, You know what? Hold on. I'm not going to start trying to get people killed. I'm going to say, form a line, and I will... No, that's a horrible idea. That line would never end. You know what? Throw in the money. That's the only way it's going to work.
Let's
Okay.
see the peasant fight.
Yeah, and
You throw the
unfortunately...
pence into the crowd.
Unfortunately, if I form a line, the line's never going to end, and I'm going to have to cut it
Yeah,
off
I
at
know.
some point. It's like, there's no good answer to this.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's,
But you spread the pence out in the crowd, and
It's the
they
best
all,
response as
start
well.
going for it. But you can hear, there it is! He's got the money! And you see the crowd turn from confusion, skepticism, and uncertainty to definite certainty that you have the money to pay them for whatever job you intend for them to do.
Right, it was just the best response. Show us the money! There's the money.
The shopkeepers of course, don't dive into the crowd. They have their own businesses, and they seem a little bit relieved at all of this. Uh, However, you do have a large number of refugees that have now gathered around you. They're all eager to do some work for you for some more money.
Gather at the stadium in the great park, and I will receive you there with further instruction.
You heard him! To Barnabo Stadium! Yeah! I can buy bread now!
As well, spread the word to all you fellow refugees that there is work to be had.
Alright. So you have acquired a large number of refugee followers who are ready to do your bidding.
Alright, and then I guess gotta go talk to that other guy that I helped last session.
Indeed. Kristoff, I believe.
I mean, unless Mordrin has a thing that he wants to get done, I don't want to be, taking over all your time too. I know you're my bodyguard, but
Well, I don't think there's anything I need if I was able to have collected the bola I threw, because I do want to kind of have kept that or have one in my possession.
what now?
In my first fight, I threw a bola. I just don't know if I was able to have more than collected at the end when.
You can collect it again, it's fine.
I'd like to think that Mordrin is in the crowd trying to get money too.
No, he's sticking with his known source of money. He doesn't want to look like
What are you doing, you crazy son of a bitch? That's money!
Alright. And as you two are leaving the new market district, you hear a high-pitched elven voice behind you say, "Well, well, well, look who it is.
I assume they're not talking to
Mordrin,
me.
I thought I'd never see the day.
Oh, they're not. That's good.
Here you are, licking the boot of a human, huh?" And Mordrin, you look behind you, and you see, well, maybe a familiar elven face.
Oh, and Mordrin is now fuming, struck silent by this stunning blow.
Indeed. Looking behind you, you see a fair-haired elf in fashionable, clean attire, decked out in purples and reds and greens. He seems very well-to-do, Berthold, and he's looking at Mordrin as he approaches. So is these the depths that you've sunk to since you left your home, is it? Truly, I
Well-
didn't think a dwarf so short could go lower.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Hear that from
Whoa.
miles away on coming out of a sewer grate.
Yes, echoing through the very mountain of Middenheim itself.
Sigbert.
That hit me in the ancestors.
Sigbert, send help.
So what do you do, Mordrin?
He just looks at his dog. He's probably yipping and pissed off too. And of course, I don't have animal training to, do anything about this.
The dog is growling a little bit. However, the elf isn't taking necessarily any truly aggressive actions, other than simply approaching. Oh, and I see you found the only friend you could truly find at all, too. A fellow dog. How quaint.
Better serving a human than some bloody elf.
Well, at least you found a fine human to serve under. You must be his keeper. Allow me to introduce myself, he says as he turns to Berthold. I am Valander Windbreaker. It is a pleasure to meet you, sir. he says as he bows and extends his hand in an offering of greeting, just sort of waiting for you to reciprocate.
Yeah, he'll look down at the hand, but he'll curtsy instead. Ah, yes, it's a pleasure to meet you, Bertold Hartman. Funny, I thought that was a woman's name.
He giggles a little bit at your curtsy and go, "Oh no, I've certainly heard of many men with the name Berthold. Hardly feminine at all."
Indeed. Is this what this is about, though? We're gonna be trading bobs back and forth for the rest of the day? Or did you have a purpose?
Well, I have a whole book here, and I was hoping I could get through the whole thing, but I suppose there's hardly enough time in the day to go through it all. But oh well, I saw this dwarf's mug from across the market, and I simply had to speak up to you. For you see, this dwarf, he merely puts on a facade if he's tricked you as such to come under your employ, I'm afraid.
Well, that's a very interesting observation to have made, seeing as you... How would you know he's under my employ? Also, what facade could he be employing, since even if he were in my employ, you don't know what he's doing? So please, why don't you show me your hand even more?
I could only assume he is working for you, as he has followed you around from the market itself, and in fact was beside you during your speech. I believe he tried to speak up even. What little words the dwarf can form. As for the facade, this man is a natural liar. Whatever he has told you is clearly untrue. Certainly he hasn't told you of his past or why he's out here, has he?
A man's past is his own. I took him on myself to hire him under my own accord. I don't believe that is the business of anyone else, other than perhaps my father.
Indeed. Of course, it would not be towards for a dwarf to tell others that he's been exiled from his very home. There's no other reason he could be here.
Well, so long as I don't live in his home, that doesn't seem to be a problem.
And it wouldn't interest you, my friend, to know that this elf to whom you were speaking spent the night in my jail. Something to do with debauchery, my lord.
You can see the expression on his face change to like a scowl as he looks at you and looks back up with a little bit of a chuckle. What an attempt to save your own face, I see. Ever the perpetual liar. But clearly you don't understand the sort of crimes he must have committed in order to be exiled so. The dwarves only save that for the most notorious of criminals.
He calls me a liar, yet he does not
to have gone from a humble jailer as he was to a criminal himself? Surely something terrible must have happened.
I feel like this is like the scene in an anime where they're like pushing their foreheads together, staring each other in the eye. Me and the woman are just gonna go over, catch a chair, and stare at them from the side of the road or something.
He is, though, trying to at least partially address you, Berthold. So he is, like, looking over
No, they're both addressing me.
He bends down and, like, reaches the dwarf's head.
They're both addressing me, but they're addressing me in the way of, hey, I'm talking to you so I can directly insult this asshole in front of me.
Exactly.
Right, so I don't even need to be there. It's just, that's what I said. I'm probably off to the side just watching. Like if I had popcorn or something.
So, in this anime moment, what is Mordred's response? So why did you leave home, then, dear dwarf? What terrible crime have you committed?
I felt like a change of scenery.
Is that, out of character, is that true?
Well, he went and decided to go hunt Skaven. Or a good death.
Right. Throwing this out there, Arcloid. Like a Telltale game, silence is an answer. You don't have to answer every question given to you.
Indeed.
You-
But you do throw back like, oh, a change of scenery. And he just sort of scoffs. Scenery? What scenery could a dwarf want but a bare, blank stone wall to stare at all day?
I'm sorry if you got tired of your nursing chambers, but I sure did.
Ah, so then what are you doing here, then? Apparently this man doesn't seem to think he's actually your employee at all. So little respect he has for you, what a shame. Even after changing cities, no one gives you any time of the day.
I cover his ass in ways he can't cover himself.
But
Ah, so not only do you lick his boot, but also his ass. I see, I see. You've quite a career ahead of you.
Good sir, I thought you wouldn't know. You never go ass to mouth. I guess they don't teach you everything where you come from.
Classiest stream ever.
Only a dwarf would think such foul things in the first place.
Only an elf would admit by not denying. Goodness, Berthold, the kind of people who'd come to you. What would he want with you?
Say that again?
Goodness, Berthold, what would a person like this want with you?
Ah, yes, what would I want with you? Well, it sounded like you had quite a plan going down in the, Bernabal Stadium. I'm curious. What is it that you have in store for the city?
oh, I'm sorry. Are we talking to me again?
Oh, yes, he's turned to actually, like, face you instead of just headbutting the dwarf all
Oh yeah,
day.
no. I was letting these two go at it. I wasn't really.
Yeah, you, like, snap out as like, oh, I was so enraptured. So what is it that you plan to do with the stadium?
I have great plans in the realms of entertainment.
Oh, putting on a show, are we?
Well, that's what a stadium is for. But it just requires a bit of construction at the moment, which is what I have people working on.
Ah, I see, a builder. Just what this city needs after the devastation that it's been wrought. You're a good man then, Berthold. It is a shame that you must,
Die!
associate with such lowly riffraff as this.
Yes, well, one man's opinion.
Well, I suppose for now I should wish you well. And of course, I hope I never have to see you again, he says as he turns to the dwarf.
Never would be too soon.
Well, so long as you stay out of my way, I see no problems in my future. Well, you have a good day, Berthold. It's been a pleasure seeing you. And he will, walk away,
Never would be
with of course the
too
dog barking
soon.
after him.
What the hell does that mean? Never would be. I have a 59 intelligence and I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Alright.
Clearly, you don't have the same outlook as an elf or a dwarf.
The words
When-
just don't seem to make sense when you put them together. Never would be too soon.
Never, as a frame of time, would be too soon.
Ah, okay, there was no pause there. Okay, I got you now. We're on the same page. We're good.
Alright then. With you
I
two on
can't
the same
read.
page. You are heading to the stadium, aren't you?
No.
Or, no, you said
that
you were
would
heading
be
to...
horribly the wrong direction.
Yes, wrong direction. Christoph Warden. Yes, you head off to his estate in the city, and of course, as is usual for him, he appears to be at home minding his own business at his office desk. You are invited within by the guards, who recognize you and taken to his office.
You
He's
say
happy to see you again.
as
Standing up
usual.
and spreading his arms eagerly to approach with intent to hug.
You say as usual.
Bertold,
The only
it's
other time
fine to
we've ever
meet you
seen
again.
him, he's been stuffing his face and eating. So
Indeed. He's a massive and slightly sweaty man approaching you for a hug. Bertold, it's wonderful to see you again, my partner.
I'm gonna duck behind Mordred, so Mordred takes the hug for me.
Mordred will accept.
He will, of course, distract himself with Mordred and go for, and you, fine dwarf. And he'll give you a hug. Modoc, was it?
Well, that's a good name. You should take that.
Yes, Modoc.
Modoc, yes. Nice to see you again, Modoc. Very, very good to see you too. What can I do for you today, Bertold?
We've come about issues of financing.
So you have. Well, I suppose it's about time. I'm interested to see, our little partnership grow.
Yes, I have workers already on site, ready to start construction or reconstruction, as the case may be, of the stadium. All we need now are funds.
Most excellent. Well, I do have, some now that my business is, back in swing for the time being, thanks to you. Let me see, how much do you think you'll need for this venture, then?
Hold on. I say out of character. I actually had the thing open. Try not to leave empty spaces. So words could still be heard.
Okay,
How
so
many,
he'll
how
tap his
large?
foot and cross his arms and wait for you to give your calculation.
How large is the area of the stadium?
Uh, I am not certain. I don't think there's any necessary dimensions given anywhere for it, but I would probably classify it as being about as large as a normal modern-day football stadium.
Alright, so let's see. That's about 1.32 acres. And say... Okay, what's the land value, would you say, of Great Park? Would it be good rural? Poor urban? What are we looking at?
It'd probably be some very good urban. It is the Great Park. It's central to the city. Everyone loves it. It's well tended to most of the time when the refugees aren't here. The stadium's in disrepair. The city normally would take care of it, but you are here taking charge.
1,500 gold crowns.
Ooh, quite the sum. You have that many people working for you right now?
I do. It's
Ah,
a very
simply-
large project as well.
I see. What exactly is it all going towards, then?
Materials,
the
supplies, labor, housing of labor, feeding of labor, the land, everything.
Do you intend to purchase the stadium straight from out under the city, then?
And I reserve it as an option, but for right now, that's also, again, supplies, repair, housing, feeding, making sure the area is kept secure from the riots that have been going on recently.